lot of stuff here, you know. So.
Yeah. No Warhammer exclusives though, no 40k exclusives, I tell you what now, son. Kicking right off.
This is shit!
Adlar? Why aren't you at work? Adlar, I know you're there. Now, I told you a million times you need to be here 24/7. The customers are going to be lining up front thinking, oh, where the hell is that guy? And I wanted to buy that lawnmower. What do you expect me to do? You want me to go over there and say, oh, no, sorry, we don't have any left, I'm afraid, because I'll flipping...
Hello and welcome back to the Triumvirate. Today me and Aidan are doing Ultramarines versus Death Guard. Doing 1500 points. What are we meant to do? Caden versus World Eaters? I'll bring 5 Lehman Russes again.
I don't know.
It cannot be!
The prophecy was foretold!
Excuse me. Who the f*** are you?
Hello and welcome back to the Triumvirate, because there's 3 of us.
Why is it called the Triumvirate if there's only 2 of them?
The Triumvirate.
There's 3 all along. This is Adlar. He's in a few of the original videos, but he's been
hidden in the cupboard.
Yeah, hidden in the cupboard for the last year and a half, so we finally got him out. So we're doing Grey Knights, 2000 points versus Death Guard, and it's going to be on a new table as well, new city board. So it's going to be pretty interesting.
Flashy, son.
It's going to be flashy,
Different.
different. So we're going to see how it goes. Adlar, are you confident? No. That's that then.
See you next week.
See you next year.
Right, welcome to today's game. So we're on a city board today, on the planet of Vraxis. It's an Imperial Hive world the Death Guard have claimed, ready to turn into a stinky planet. So the Grey Knights are coming in to purge them. The mission is Beachhead. It's from the new chapter approved 2018. So there's 3 objectives. There's 1 in the middle there, and then there's 1 in each deployment zone. So the deployment is frontline assault. There's basically an arrow shape coming up from each corner to 9 inches from the centre on either side. Adlar's going to be on this side over here, and Aidan is on this side. So there's Aidan's objective there. Now the way it works is, from the second battle round, each player scores a number of victory points for each objective marker they control at the start of their turn. So you get 1 point for the one in your own deployment zone, you get 2 for the one in the centre, and 3 if you control the one in the enemy's deployment zone. As usual, there's Slay the Warlord and Linebreaker, but there's also First Strike today, which is you score 1 victory point if any units from your opponent's army were destroyed during the first battle round. So it's slightly different from First Blood, so you can both achieve this objective. Right. This mission also has acceptable casualties, which means the sudden death rules aren't in play. So if either one of their armies gets tabled, the game continues as normal. So, let's show you the armies.
Hello, I'm Adlar. Today I'll be playing Grey Knights, and I have a battalion detachment. Please cut that. I have a battalion detachment, and so 8 command points. Leading my army is Grandmaster Adlar in a Nemesis Dread Knight. His war gear is as follows. He has a Dread Knight teleporter, He has a Nemesis Greatsword, and then his ranged weapons are a Gatling Silencer and a Heavy Incinerator. He also knows the Sanctuary Psychic Power. Also in my HQ slot I've got Grandmaster Voldas. From the Sanctic Discipline he knows Gate of Infinity, Purge Soul and Vortex of Doom. I have a 10-man strike squad. Special weapons include an Incinerator and a Psy Cannon. Most of them have swords, but there's one halberd on one boy and one halberd on the Justicar. The strike squad knows Hammerhand as well as their Sanctic Power. I have 2 Terminator squads, both 5-man. One squad has a Demon Hammer, one having a Silencer and all halberds. The second squad has a halberd on the Justicar, having an Incinerator, a Demon Hammer, another halberd on one boy and a sword on one boy. One Terminator squad knows Hammerhand as his Psychic Power, and one Terminator squad knows Purge Soul. The Purge Soul squad is the one with all the halberds. For my elites choices, I have a Venerable Dreadnought, sorry, with an Astral Aim as its Psychic Powers and 2 twin autocannons. I have a Paladin squad of 4 men, Nemesis Force Halberd on the Paragon, 2 Paladins with swords and 1 Paladin with a Demon Hammer. The Paladin squad knows Hammerhand. I also have an Apothecary. He has a Grey Knight relic, the Cryas of Sacrifice. The Cryas of Sacrifice allows the Paladin to roll a d6 each time the bearer loses a wound. On a 5-up, the damage is ignored and the bearer does not lose a wound. The Apothecary also knows Hammerhand. I also have a Land Raider with a multi-melter, twin heavy water and twin las cannons, and another Nemesis Dread Knight with a Nemesis teaming Great Hammer and a Heavy Incinerator. This Dread Knight knows Sanctuary as well, and that is my list.
Hello and welcome to 2000 points of Death Guard. In my 2000 points list it contains a battalion for 5 command points and a vanguard for an extra command point. So in total I will have 9 command points. I have Typhus, who is my warlord. His psychic powers, because he's a psyker, is the first one, number 1, Miasma of Pestilence, and number 5, Pure Scent Vitality. Miasma of Pestilence is the -1 to hit for everyone targeting a unit. Vitality is +1 strength and toughness to a friendly unit. Going on to my other HQs, I have 2 Lords of Contagion. One with a Man Reaper, one with a Plague Reaper.
Lord Felthias, is it?
Lord Felthias, Lord Filthy Maggot Man. He's kicking it up with a Man Reaper. Plague Reaper has the relic, Fuggerus's Helm, giving him an extra 3 inches to his little auras. So, heading to troops, 3 squads of 20 Plague Poxwalkers. In the elite section we have Tallyman, and he's just Tallyman. He does rerolls, and I might get my command points back on a 7. It's a 1 in 11 chance. 2 squads of 6-man Blight Lord Terminator squads. So in the first 6-man squad they are 3 swords and 2 axes. There is 2 combi bolters, 2 combi melters, a blight launcher and a flail of corruption. And the second squad is identical in every way except instead of 2 combi melters they have 2 combi plasma. I have also got 3 Deathstroke Terminators with double spurt guns on the Sarge because they're free now, so why wouldn't you? So and that, everything else on the list is just fast attack. I got triple drones. 2 have 2 sets of plague spitters and 1 has a flesh mower. Let's go on to the game. Let the games begin.
Right, so Aidan and Adlar have deployed their armies. So over on Adlar's side we've got the Dread Knight here. And we've got the Land Raider, which has the Paladins and the Apothecary inside. And then over here we've got Voldas up by the objective in this Imperial base, and then the Venerable Dreadnought down here. And then in reserve in the ship, Grandmaster Adlar, the Strike Squad. No! 2 Terminators.
That's it.
And that is it. Over on Aidan's side, for the poxwalkers here by the objective. Got the drone up in his little balcony there. We've got the other poxwalkers
And Tallyman, is it?
And the Tallyman hidden in there along with Typhus. And then up in this building we got the 2 drones. And then in reserve, ready to come in, is the Terminators, Death Shroud, and the 2 Lord of Contagions. Lord of Contagions?
Yeah.
Lords of Contagion. Right, so Aidan deploys his army first, so he gets to choose who gets the first turn, and he is chosen for Adlar to go first. So, going on to battle round 1.
So, at the end of my movement phase, I've just shuffled my Dread Knight up a bit. I see a tasty model over there. Valdis is camping on the objective there, ready to use some psychic powers. My Land Raider's just sort of shuffled a bit, not really moved. And my Dread Knight has advanced to here, that far from the objective. I would have advanced more, but I rolled a 2, so onto my psychic phase. At the end of my psychic phase, not much has happened. I've given my Dreadnought Astral Aim, and I've given my Dread Knight Sanctuary. Aidan did try to deny it, but he did not get it. So I will move on to my shooting phase, which there is clearly a lot of. At the end of my shooting phase, the Dreadnought shot that drone, did no wounds, they were all saved. The Land Raider also shot with the heavy bolt from the last cannons and did 3 wounds. There will be no there will be no charges this turn, so I will hand it off to Aidan for turn 1 of Death Guard.
So at the end of Death Guard movement phase, everything's just squiggling up. Zombies are coming forward and onwards. I've advanced the drones. He's staying still as an insurance policy. And this big blob is moved up here. I have captured the objective, but I don't get any points for it on the first turn, so it doesn't matter. But it is Adlar's move to take me off it. We're going to go into psychic phase, and that'll be it, because there is no shooting whatsoever and no assaults. So I'll do psychic phase and I'll just get back to you. At the end of the psychic phase and at the end of Death Guard turn 1, I managed to get Miasma of Pestilence, -1 to hit on the zombies, but I failed to get the +1 strength or toughness because Adlar blocked me. So that is the end of Death Guard turn 1. On 2 Grey Knights, turn 2.
So, at the end of my movement phase, the boys have come in. I have deep striked every unit that was in reserve. These 2 haven't moved at all. Valdis has remained on that point, so I've gained 1 point. Over here, the Terminators have deep striked. And Grandmaster Adlar has also deep strike, ready to go into a bit of tasty combat here. The Land Raider has moved from here to there to do a bit of shooting. My Dread Knight has moved up into this mess. The Strike Squad is coming right behind them, and then a Terminator Squad right behind them. And that's about it. So I shall get on to my Psychic phase. Get into my Psychic phase. He's got Astral Aim on again. I've gained Sanctuary on Trapmaster Adlar. He's also done a bit of damage with a Smite into this drone here. They also rolled a Smite, but Aidan denied it. There's been some Smites here and here, just because there's nothing else to really do. Both were made with the Stink Save rolls. And I'll get on to my shooting phase. So, at the end of my shooting phase, I used Stratagem. I've used Cybold Ammunition on this squad here. There's been a lot of damage to the poxwalkers after that shot, they've shot, and the Dread Knight as well. How many died?
I believe 11.
11 have died due to shooting, so that's
More than half.
more than half. And what was the rule for poxwalkers?
If you have 11 plus models, you get +1 to hit.
Yes, there's no +1 to hit anymore. The Land Raider has shot into both of these drones. No, sorry, just one drone. The one at the back. Reduced. It didn't do anything. Adlar and Terminators have also shot into it. They're both on 1 wound now, however, after the Dreadnought shot as well. Voldus had a go, but he didn't really do anything. It means 2 shots from a Stormbolter, didn't expect it to. And that's the end of my shooting phase. I'll do my charges in the assault phase. So, as expected, I think Adlar managed to deal 1 damage to this drone.
Yeah.
So, the drone is dead. I've stayed there. I've got my Sanctuary on. Hopefully I'll be able to tank a bit of damage. Unfortunately, this Dread Knight did not manage to squish many zombies. He killed a few, but Aiden will get a point. They attacked back and did 1 damage. Thankfully, I managed to save it with my 2-up armor. Knowing me, I would have rolled a 1, but never mind. So I'll hand it off to Aiden for Death Guard turn 2. Oh no.
So, at the end of Death Guard movement phase, everyone's moved up. We're all getting stuck in. Typhus has gone up. The zombies are still stuck in combat, but I don't mind that. And the drone's gone over here with 1 wound. Hopefully he'll explode and do a wound or something. Yeah. At the start of my turn, I scored 2 points for holding the objective in the middle, and 1 point for holding my objective, putting me up to 3 points to 1 for Grey Knights. And at the end of my movement phase, all the deep strike came in. So Death Shroud had come in here, 9 inches away from the Dread Knight there. One of the Lord's Contagion with the Man Reaper is coming here, 9 inches away from him and Adlar, safe there. But the flank has been penetrated, you could say. I got 6 Blight Lords with the double combi plasma by here, 9 inches away from these 2 boys. Also the Lord of Contagion with the relic, the extra 3 inches to his aura is coming there. And over here we got 6 boys 9 inches away from Voldus and 9.5 inches away from the Land Raider and the Terminator squad. So we're going to try and combi melter Voldus. Oof. That's the plan. Going on to Death Guard Psychic Phase. The end of the Psychic Phase, I got Miasma Pestilence, -1 to hit on this zombie squad here. I failed to get off +1 strength and toughness because Adlar denied me again. Just to mention also, the Dread Knight took a wound, a mortal wound from Nurgle's gift from Typhus in the start of the turn. And that is the end of the Psychic Phase. Going on to shooting. So, at the end of my shooting phase, a few things happened. Not much over here. I took a wound off Adlar. I took a from the drone. I took a wound off this Dreadnought from Typhus. Come around here. With the Terminators, I shot everything into the strike squad, taking them down to 3. And over here, my deep striking combi melter squadron of the day melted Voldus. He is now but dust in the wind. So that's the end of the shooting phase. Go into onto charges and then the fight phase. So at the end of the fight phase, Typhus and the Death Shroud finished off the Dread Knight there. Both the drone, the Death Shroud and Typhus made him into combat with some lucky high rolls. So we got some good deaths there. And the other thing was the drone charged, but he got flamed in Overwatch. He did blow up, however, doing a mortal wound to him. And that is the end of Death Guard turn 2. Going on to Grey Knights.
Grey Knights turn 3. Unfortunately, I have not patched at this point. There was nothing there at the start of my movement phase. However, the Paladins have disembarked from the Land Raider and now holding it, so there's a point there in their next turn. Dreadnought, sorry, has done nothing. He's just stayed there. I'm going to astral aim something, if I'm lucky. Land Raider's turned around into this mess here. Strike Squad has also turned around into this mess. Terminators are also in here, and Terminators from that area have shuffled down. Adlar's wrapped around a bit into this squad here, and I shall get onto my psychic phase. The end of my psychic phase, there's been a couple of smites, one from this strike squad into the drone. There's been an attempt to purge soul here, but nothing happened. There's been a smite from the squad in the apothecary, killing one Terminator. The Dreadnought perilled and took mortal wounds. I used a reroll and he's still perilled. Hammerhand's gone off on this squad just because, and there's been a smite and a failed sanctuary attempt on Adlar. So I shall get onto my shooting phase. At the end of Grey Knight's shooting phase, the Dreadnought has shot the drone, done a little bit of damage there, I think, wouldn't it? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Took another 5.
The Paladins and everything else here has shot the Terminators, leaving one with 1 wound. I use a Strategium, again, sidebolt ammunition on this squad. That's it for shooting over here. I forgot to mention that this squad have advanced, and the Dread Knight has shot everything into the poxwalkers, leaving the Lord of Contagion open for a charge. So that's what I will be getting onto next. So obviously it has to be expected. They managed to deal 1 damage. And over here I've taken 2 damage on my Dread Knight and dealt 4 with my Dread Knight under the Lord of Contagion. So I'll hand it off for Death Guard turn 3.
And at the end of my movement phase, all those boys advanced up. They rolled a 1, so they move 5 inches in total. Fun. They're staying still. These boys are conga lining around here to try and get a charge on the Terminators. And everyone else just stayed still to camp on the objective. Let the Grey Knights come to me, I say. And that's the end of the movement phase. Going on to Psychic. So at the end of the Psychic phase, I tried casting both Psychic powers, the -1 to hit and +1 strength and toughness on the Death Shroud. I got the +1 strength and toughness, but Adlar denied me the -1 to hit. So they are not beefed up as it goes on.
Beefed up, just not as much.
Yeah, not as much. So I'm going to go on to shooting phase. There's not a lot, but after that, we'll go on to assault. End of Death Guard shooting phase. Shot a plasma pistol at Adlar. It did nothing. That is it. On to fight phase. At the end of the fight phase, not good really. Lord of Contagion did nothing to Adlar, and Adlar kicked him and yeeted him across the yard. And the charge went badly, did nothing to him whatsoever, and he took down most of my guys, only 5 left with a poxwalker. So,
You did across the yard.
Oh, leave it in.
and that is the end of Death Guard turn 3. Going on to Grey Knights turn 4.
End of my movement. That's his wounds. I've moved the Dreadnought out of here, so even if I fail my astral aim, I will still have line of sight on that drone. The Apothecary stayed there. The Paladins have advanced back into the Land Raider, and the Land Raider's moved up the road a bit. That squad from there has fallen back here to the Strike Squad, and the Terminators are just sort of squished up behind him. Obviously that's still in combat here, and meanwhile Adlar's he's on the way. He's on the way over here, with a little bit of a surprise for this little squad in the middle first. So I will go into my psychic phase, sorry. The end of psychic phase, this squad have manifested Hammerhand, Adlar has manifested Sanctuary. I've smited this unit once, but it was... I've actually smited it twice, sorry, but it's been denied once. I did, however, do three more wounds to it from these squads here. And... Astral Aim on the Dreadnought, yeah. On to... shooting phase. So, the end of my shooting phase, I finally killed the drone. After a lot of shots into it, mind you. Both of these squads with special weapons and all the stone bolters fired into it. Didn't do much. It was brought down to 1 wound. Dread Knight shot at it, didn't do much. My last cannons went into the Death Shroud. 2 of them missed, and then 1 of them was saved with an invul. And the Land Raider with its multi-melter and heavy bolter finally killed the drone. Chapter Master Adlar, however, shot into Tallyman and killed him with the incinerator. Obviously they're still in combat, and I will get onto my charge phase. In my charge phase, Adlar's come in. He made the charge after re-rolling thanks to his Warlord trait. He's done a little bit of damage. He's killed 2 and no wounds back. However, over here I've retaliated back with more attacks and killed 3 more and no damage back. Hammerhand came in handy. Wihey. So don't know what's going to happen now. We'll see in Death Guard turn 4.
End of movement phase. These Terminators have advanced again, moving another 5 inches, because it's slow. These Terminators, the Death Shroud, have popped their heads out to say hello. And that's about that. The rest of my army's dead. Typhus and that are just on the point. And we're awaiting Grey Knights. Going on to Psychic phase. End of Death Guard turn 4 Psychic phase. Nothing happened. I failed to get the -1 to hit off, and Adlar denied my +1 strength and toughness. +1 strength and toughness. So, going on to shooting phase, Death Guard. And that was the end of my shooting phase. I shot a flamer pistol into the Land Raider, and it did nothing.
End of my movement phase. I've got 1 boy on that point, so I've secured 1 more point. Whoop-de-doo. The Paladins have disembarked from the Land Raider. Obviously the Apothecary's staying up there, so it's just 4 men coming up there. Land Raiders moved back a bit, and then these squads have scooched up into the Death Shroud here. Going to take some pot shots at the Terminators over here. I'm going to take some pot shots here as well. Hopefully, well, no, not so much hopefully. The Dreadnought has not moved, so if he does fail his Astral Aim, I do have some line of sight attacks coming in here. These models have moved up towards the middle part here, and Adlar has fallen back from the Poxwalker squad this turn, so we will not be doing anything. However, there is a shooting phase next turn, so I shall go on to my movement phase. My psychic phase. The end of my psychic phase, a bunch of my powers have gone off. I've got Astral Aim on this Dreadnought. That squad's been hammer-handed, so their fight will be a lot better going into Typhus. Adlar has smited that squad, killing 1 and got a Sanctuary off just because. Safety. And these squads here, the Paladins, the Strike squad and Terminator squad have all smited the Terminators, killing 1 of them. So I shall go into my shooting phase. So after a very lucky incinerator roll from my Strike squad, I killed both of the Death Shroud. Unfortunately the rest of the squad didn't get to shoot, but hey ho, I'll take it. I've taken some pot shots into this Terminator squad, killed 2 or 3? 2.
3.
I've killed 3 of them, yeah. After pot shots from the Land Raider and the Venerable Dreadnought. I've taken a couple of pot shots at this squad with the Terminators over here and killed a couple. And I will go on to my charge phase. Well, 5 halberd attacks missed, dealing no damage. And then 2 attacks went through, saving them both, unfortunately. And then Typhus smacked me back and killed 2 guys. Unfortunately, but nevertheless I have the objective. I have Terminators in there, they are troops. So, no further charges. I'll hand it off to Aidan for his 5th turn.
So at the start of my turn, the Nurgle's Gift, I believe rule, did a mortal wound to the squad, and that is it, because no one else is within an inch at the start of the turn. So at the end of Death Guard movement phase, the Blight Lord Terminators and the Lord of Contagion, Lord of Contagion has moved up to engage the Paladins. Everyone else, Typhus is locked in combat, and poxwalkers will not leave the objective. Actually, I'll tell you what I'll do. I should put him back there. Cheer! That's better. I don't know if he can move fast enough, so that won't do anything. But it makes me feel better. You know what? I'll put the Dr. Dick in front of there. So it looks like he's holding back the monstrosity.
You're the monstrosity in the Emperor's eyes.
I am the good boy here. Who's killed more? Who's you? So
well, look at my dead pile.
So technically, you're the murderer here. Technically, I'm the good guy.
Show my dead pile.
Yeah, see these? This is what I killed.
Okay, now show your dead pile.
Well, I put the Terminators away, and the drones away, and the Lord of Contagion away, and the Tallyman away. But this is my infantry casualties.
Look, it just makes me feel better about myself, alright?
Yeah, alright. Going on to Psychic Phase. So, end of Psychic Phase. I tried Smiting, I rolled a 3. I tried getting +1 strength and toughness on them. I rolled a 9, so I thought, hey, we're going in. He rolled a 9 and he has +1 to his, so he rolled a 10. So he denied me. Again.
Way!
Well, onto the shooting phase now. At the end of Death Guard shooting phase, nothing happened. I shot all the combi plasmas into the strike squad and it did nothing, and I shot the flies into the paladins because they are pistol, but they also did nothing, and zombies can't shoot. So that is the end of the shooting phase. Going on to charges and then fighting. So at the end of the fight phase, I killed 1 paladin here and they did 3 wounds back to the Lord of Contagion. And the only other thing to happen is Typhus doing finishing off the last Terminator. And that is the end of that. We will now go and see if the game ends at turn 5. At the end of turn 5, it is 10 points to Death Guard, 3 points to Grey Knights.
I've left it up to Jay.
Yeah. Jay's rolling the dice here.
Rolling the dice. So on a 3 up, the game continues. On a 1 or 2, it ends.
Wait.
Game continues.
It continues. Oof.
Another turn 6, son.
On to turn 6.
At the end of my movement phase, Dreadnought stayed where he is. Land Raiders pretty much stayed where he is. The Paladins have fallen back from their combat with the Blight Blood Terminators, whatever the heck they're called. The Terminator squad's moved up, and the Strike squad has advanced towards Typhus. And Adlar's having a flipping go as well into that mess there. So, can I table Aidan this turn? I don't know. I'll let you know at the end of my psychic phase. This Terminator squad purged their soul, dealing 2 damage. Unfortunately, Death Guard being Death Guard saved their mortal wounds. The Paladins also attempted to manifest Smite. They did not. Aidan denied it. However, the Dreadnought has Astralain. This squad has Hammerhand going into the Typhus fight. Adlar smited one of those, but he saved it. But he also managed to cast Sanctuary on himself. I shall head into my shoot phase. Well, I've managed to do a little bit of damage here. I've killed some of them, but not all of them, unfortunately. One's remaining. That makes the charge difficult. Yeah. And nothing happened there. but the majority of them are also dead. So I'll get onto my charge phase. At the end of my fight phase, the Lord of Contagion is gone, thank God. Just that one boy remains. Typhus did 1 damage to me, in return I've done 3. And Chapter Master Adlar had a go, but he only killed like 2 boys.
1, I think.
1 actually, maybe, yeah. Currently Aidan has 5 models left on the board. I have many. But it could still end here. I'll leave it up to him. On Death Guard, turn 6.
End of Death Guard movement phase, I just moved up to the truck. And that's the end of Death Guard movement phase. Going on to Psychic phase. Death Guard Psychic phase, I got off +1 strength with toughness, but he denied me -1 to hit on the zombies. And that is the end of Death Guard Psychic phase. Short turns. Death Guard shooting phase, combi plasmid a paladin to death. Overcharged and loving life. I used flies, but 6-up saves are a thing, apparently. And that is the end of my shooting phase.
I will hold the gates.
So he sounds like.
Oh, alright. I will hold the gates! Oh no!
I'll just flip it, get it.
End of Death Guard, turn 6. Everyone's dead except for Typhus, and he's on a single wound. I've got... Yeah, I got problems. Currently, Adlar holds every single objective. Troops control that one. They overruled me. Adlar's on that one, and the Apothecary is on this one. So you'll get 6 points next turn. If he kills Typhus, you'll get another point, and you'll get another point for Line Breaker. So I am absolutely hoping that when Jay rolls this dice...
Come on, Jay.
Right, so 11 points to Aidan if this is a 1, 2 or 3. And I mean, it should be 12 points to 11 if Adlar wins. So if this is a 4-up.
So what are we looking for, Jay?
On a 4-up, the game continues.
Come on, boy. There's definitely a 4-up, isn't it?
Yeah, check.
Yeah, it is 4-up.
Yeah, 4.
Oh, come on, please.
You're gonna blow it up?
Please.
We're all sweating. Adlar for the Emperor.
For the Emperor, son.
No! Oh, so close.
Oh, I almost tabled him.
And the score is 11 to Death Guard, 4 to Grey Knights, with 1 wound on with 1 model on 1 wound left.
May as well just go into the post game.
Yeah, we'll talk about this in the post game.
Post game. So a very close game.
Yeah.
One
Typhus with 1 wound.
1 wound on the board. For
That's
Death
all
Guard.
I need.
1 dice roll away. 1 number.
Yeah,
just 1.
1 point off on 1 dice roll.
And I would have won. But hey ho, you know, it is what it is. It was a lot of silly mistakes in the early game, but a lot of luck brought me back to.
I think early game, I focused on points, you focused on killing my army.
Yeah, pretty much. That's just the way it went.
And I got ahead in the early game on points, and you dismantled my army completely.
I mean, it was a really good mission in the way it was sort of, well, incepted really.
Yeah.
Because it's, do you leave units on the point with, you know, especially when you had poxwalkers who can only really do stuff in close combat.
Yeah.
And do you leave them on the point and then they just get shot, or do you take them off and try and do something? It's, you know, you got to weigh up the positives and the negatives.
Yeah.
In Aidan's case, it worked out for him.
Yeah. The thing is, like, right, if you stay in your objective, right, that only gets you 1 point a turn. But if you leave it, your enemy gets 3 points a turn.
Yeah, if they capture it.
So you have to stay. You basically have to stay. Have someone stay behind. And I was lucky in the first half because you didn't actually focus on them with anyone.
Yeah.
You went the other side of the board, in fact, with Adlar and the Terminators and stuff. So maybe if you went that side and threatened them, maybe I'd have to pull back. Maybe I wouldn't deploy Terminators at Voldas.
Yeah.
To try and just take my own objective back.
Well, yeah. Well, my whole idea was to leave Voldas there for the start, but then Gate of Infinity over to you afterwards.
Yeah.
Obviously, you put a stop to that pretty quickly.
Yeah, you left a small little area.
Yeah.
Which I could deep strike into.
Just the tiniest bit.
Just a tiny little bit.
Well, as things seem to be going today, so yeah.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it was a good game.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed not shooting anything for 3 turns in a row. I think I shot a plasma pistol and Typhus.
Another interesting little point. I've consistently denied at least one psychic ability for every single turn.
Bloody
correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously you'll see it in the battle report. I might not be.
I think the first turn I got both of them off.
Maybe you did.
And then after that you denied one.
Yeah.
At least one every turn.
I can't remember. It's stupid.
But I needed more psychos, definitely. Yeah. Well, to deny on my part, because you were just going, whoa, 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 psychic powers, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, stop me, stop, please.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing when you fight in an army with a brotherhood of psychic special rules. So
psychos, and it's like, great.
Nevertheless,
yeah, we was a good scock. Good game, my son.
Jay's just over. Jay's in the background just doing this.
Jay's like, literally 66% of all this will have to be edited out. My work is not done yet. That's how Jay talks. You'll never see this because Jay edits the video.
Hopefully you will. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed. Click the bell for the bells.
For the bells.
See you next time.
If you don't click the bell, the end will hit you. Of the bell end.